Right, now let's talk about Naspers, which of course is the locally listed media giant. It's got its stakes in internet businesses, e-commerce businesses, and pay TV businesses, including the DSTV multi-choice business that you're currently using to watch this broadcast. Market cap 1.1 trillion rands. So that's a large sum of money. Price to earnings ratio of 92 and a dividend yield of 0.2. So those are way more expensive than the numbers we see typically, but of course it's the nature of the business and the sum of the parts and all of that. Let's go straight to the share chart. This will be one of our local charts, so you can see it in the normal pink tone. Also a tremendous success, also trading at its all-time highs, currently 2,578 rands per share. Your view?
So this share's been, I think, a boon to the South African marketplace. As you mentioned, it's the only global tech stock that you can access through the JSE, listed on the JSE, and really somewhat, I guess, serendipitous that Naspers, which was a local media business, went off under Chris Becker, looking for investment opportunities, invested in Tencent in China when Tencent was in its nascent beginnings and has now grown to become the biggest emerging market technology stock in the world.
So in some senses, Tencent, of course, is gaming, which is slightly different, but it also has all sorts of, e-commerce elements to it. It's got a massive investment in people using their payment systems. There's a whole lot of online retail information, search, chat, of course, kind of like a Twitter equivalent. So if you add all of that together, and remember, internationally, these companies have a very dominant position in China because some of the foreign players like Google and Facebook aren't operating there. So that's a huge boon, and it's a very, very strong and very, very profitable business.
Absolutely.
But in addition to that, Naspers has investments in all these e-tailing businesses, all these sort of OLX type operations.
The online classifieds, that's right.
So it's got a lot going which isn't even factored in, because the value of Tencent in Hong Kong, we all know the story, gives you more than the current market cap of Naspers.
Yeah, so what we talk about is the rump, which is everything else other than Tencent is still trading at a negative value, so detracting. It is a holding company, I guess, and has a head office. But those other assets have optionality around them. I think the most important one is now the online classifieds. That has been growing very nicely. They have been moving into the US market with a new mobile app, I think, called Let Go.
Yes, I see that.
So, and that has potential. So this is a very interesting way to own Tencent, because you get Tencent and all of Tencent, plus the potential of...
And we've seen under the current management team, Bob van Dijk, that they've actually been in play some of those assets, like look to sell Souk.com.
Yes, that's right.
There's talk that maybe Flipkart, which is a major Amazon competitor in India, could be for sale. And in that way, they realize billions and billions of dollars that aren't even factored in. So it just seems like a no-brainer to me. I mean, you've got to be hot on this one.
Look, you are buying Tencent, and you've got to be happy with the exposure, the Tencent exposure that you get. But I think Tencent, like the other stocks that we mentioned, also has a lot of potential. China, quite a unique market, as you mentioned. The other global companies have been kept out to some extent, but they work more around an ecosystem. So they tie together the chat as a platform with the pay, with the social media, with the gaming, and so and Chinese use it much more effectively, much more part of their daily lives.
Exactly. They're even more obsessed with their cell phones there than people are in Western countries, and I've seen that because the sky is not blue and there aren't a lot of kids around. So what are you going to do? Play with your phone?
That's it.
I'm summarizing here a little bit. Okay, so we're hot on this one, even at its elevated price level, and with the rand potentially weakening, you get that as well. If the rand were to weaken because of political and other difficulties here, then you get protected through Naspers.
It's certainly a rand hedge stock.
Good. So we're going hot on Naspers as well.